excited. We have Ify in the house with us today as we are continuing to share with you. What you may not realize is that we have the Facebook group and we have the Instagram book, a group that we've been sharing with, as well as you can view it on YouTube today. I want to encourage you to share this. As I was talking before, Ify, I shared with them that Michelle is such a woman that is a woman par excellence, that any woman could really mimic her life or pattern her life after a great wife, a great mother, a great citizen. I mean, just an extraordinary woman that really just has a drive and works hard for the things that she does and accomplishes in life. This book for me was so inspiring. Before Ify comes in and gives some comments, because you guys got to listen to me for almost an hour, share with you all, I'm going to give you that brief bio, and then we're going to go right into Ify's going to come in. She's going to give you some key points of what she got from reading the book in chapter 1, sharing with you, and I'll come in and add, as we're talking. But I want us to be able to have the opportunity to really enjoy this together, reading this book, Becoming. I mean, it just really inspired me all over again. It really caused me to really love the Obama family again, all over again. I fell in love with them all over again. So I was very encouraged by this. And Ify, I hope you don't mind. I'm loving the new hairdo. You look so beautiful. She's a model. She's an actress. She's a philanthropist. So many things. She and I, many months ago, partnered together and started this women empowerment group. So I'm so excited about that. I was telling them, Ify, all they have to do to view stuff 24 hours, 7 days a week is go to LV Network, add LV Network as a channel to your Roku, Apple, Fire TV, or your Cross TV, and you will be able to see women empowerment things from all around the world going on 24 hours, 7 days a week. I am just so blessed. I feel so honored that we're here to share together again on today. Very quickly, I'm going to kind of quiet down the music so that we can go into the bio of just sharing that with you on today. I know you're saying, wait a minute, did she do a hair change? I did a hair change. When you get the opportunity to go back and see the other, you'll see my hair was styled a different way. But I had, started pinning it back. I usually pin up my hair when I'm getting ready to work. So we're going to move right into the bio, things that we shared in part 1. I gave you a lot of information, but we're doing our brief bio of Michelle. We said Michelle was born and raised on the south side of Chicago by her mother and father, along with her older brother, Craig. She went on to attend college at Princeton University, where she majored in sociology. After college, she attended Harvard Law School, and after graduating, got a job at a corporate law firm in Chicago called Sidley and Austin. At Sidley, she was assigned to mentor a summer associate, Barack Obama, who worked for Sidley between his first and second year at Harvard Law. The two quickly began dating and married after Barack graduated from law school. Michelle then quit her job at Sidley, looking for something more fulfilling to do in her life and in the community to be a part of the change. She started at City Hall and then at an organization called Public Allies, and then at the University of Chicago Medical Center. Michelle and Barack had 2 daughters, Sasha and also Malia. Barack quickly became involved in politics, rising from Illinois State Senator to United States Senator, and then becoming the 44th President of the United States of America. Barack was president from 2008 to 2016, and Michelle and her family moved to the White House with him. During her time as First Lady, Michelle worked on initiatives called Let's Move, a children's health initiative, and she joined forces with focusing on supporting military families, and Let's Girl Learn, supporting girls' education worldwide. And a new White House garden was planted. Michelle and her family, they currently live in Washington, D.C., I have to share something with you, Iffy. During the
Yeah.
time as him as president, my daughter Nakia served as an intern for Barack Obama during the time that they were there in office. She got to work in the garden. She got to meet
Wow.
Michelle, talk with Michelle. She got to bowl in the bowling alley that's there at the White House. She took so many pictures. But for that summer, she
Wow.
worked to do things to help in
Wow.
aiding our president and first lady. And I tell you, I was so thrilled for her. What an exceptional
Yeah.
opportunity. She was so
Yeah.
taken with our first lady, Michelle Barack Obama, when they were in office. And it was just a wonderful time for her. And it inspired her to do even more. And so I was so excited for her when she found out that she had been selected. She was like, "Oh my God, Mom, I can't believe it!" And they selected her, and the rest is history. She's going on now. Medical school apps are out there. We're praying medical applications so she can get on into medical school because she is going to be, Mom saying it, one of the top neurosurgeons in the country one day. That's in the future, my future doctor. So I thank God for her and her experience that she had. I went back and I read some of her
Wow.
letters that
That's
she
great.
received from them when she worked there for them. Michelle, her picture that she got. It was just amazing just to realize that along with reading this book, I wasn't even thinking at that time that, my own child had had the experience of experiencing that White House experience by being an intern there for the summer. It was an amazing thing. And so I'm excited once again about this book. Listen, you can get it everywhere. All you have to do is type in Becoming by Michelle Obama and you can get it. Here's some of the key facts. It was written, she wrote this book between 2017 and 2018, and she wrote it while she was in Washington, D.C. It was published November the 13th, 2018. The literary period, because some of us, we have technical people that are listening in as well, it's a part of the contemporary literature, and it is considered, the genre is memoir, and the setting is her life in Chicago, Princeton, and Washington, D.C. And then she talks about the climax of the book, Michelle and Barack, when they leave the White House. But the thing that I love about this book is that it's all in first person. She's being so transparent. I mean, as my mom would say when I was growing up, she's telling all the family business. She's just putting it out there for everyone to hear, uh, and letting it be just transparent and evolve and showing you how you evolve into what your destiny is. So I was so inspired by this. How did you feel, Effie, as you were reading the book? How did you feel, Iffy, as you were reading the book? Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, it was okay. First of all, thank you, Dr. T. It's great to
Mhm.
be on the first ever book club. We are reviewing the book
Okay. Well, as you all know, Iffy is in Nigeria and we are here in America. So sometimes when we connect and we do shows, she'll come clearly on, and then sometimes not. I'm sure she's going to click and come back into the studio. I shared with you once as we were talking in reference to the book. There are so many things that you can find as you're reviewing and you're going through this book that will inspire you as a woman, that will cause you as a person to want to strive and excel, because there are so many demonstrations of how your family helps to form who you are, how places help to form who you are, the decisions that you make, how they help to form who you are, and that they help to kind of be the template for your life and where you are moving and where you are going. Iffy, when you were reading the book,
yeah.
what did you gain from the book?
Yeah, thank you for I'm so happy to be on the first ever book club. We are reviewing the book Becoming by Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama is someone that a lot of people, both men and women, look up to. And it was really exciting for me to go through chapter 1 of the book.
Mm-hmm.
I got to understand, how she was raised and
Mm-hmm.
her thought life, the way she saw life,
Mm-hmm.
because chapter 1 is more of her background,
Mm-hmm.
growing up, how she has, a put together family, and
Mm-hmm.
from her environment too. Her love for music and trying to learn the piano, it came because of her neighbor, and she seeing other children trying to practice the keys, trying to get the notes right in the piano. So for me, I'm seeing it like a child being influenced by her environment, being influenced by neighbors, being
Mm-hmm.
influenced by her community, being influenced by her brother, being influenced by her mom and her dad, and also her grandparents. Because remember, she said at a point her grandfather, who is a good carpenter, had to demarcate the bedroom and create like a privacy for she and her brother. So really, I'm seeing, someone, being cultured, and she said from her house, it was almost like a 50-meter radius, 5-meter radius from church, and
Mm-hmm.
growing up in that way, it helps to build her mentality. That's why now I understand how she was able to take a lot of criticism, a lot of racist comments while she was first lady, is because she had a solid background. That's
Yes,
something
yes.
really important. I think I took from chapter 1. She
Mm-hmm.
had a solid background, and
Mm-hmm.
which is one of our purposes and our vision, our missions for Purpose Women Global Empowerment, for our group, is to
Yes.
help women, build solid backgrounds for
Mm-hmm.
themselves and also for their
Mm-hmm.
kids, because it's what you have on the inside you be able to give to the outside. So Michelle, from learning music, certainly high school and everything, and then becoming first lady, she was an outstanding lawyer, an
Mm-hmm.
excellent lawyer, and she went on to become first lady, and right now she's doing so well, a bestseller. But we can
Mm-hmm.
trace it back to her background. She had a
Yes,
solid
yes,
background. She had a wonderful community. Yeah, yeah,
yes.
and she
And I
has an
love.
excellent mind,
Mhm.
because there was a time she put something in the book, and she said she tried as much as possible to get the keys right to
Mhm.
impress her teacher,
Mhm.
meaning that because she kept listening to other kids, trying to get the hot cross buns, the nursery rhymes and everything well. She had
Mhm.
listened to it over and over again, and then she knew that she would do perfectly well with her music teacher. So yeah, those are the key things I've learned, yeah, from
Yes.
chapter 1.
Yeah, I love how we're just doing it chapter by chapter because it gives you the opportunity to really absorb what's going on. I thought because I grew up in the South, and I had a very strong family background with my parents, I can understand the racism. I can understand, I mean, all of my relatives, come from down south, most of on my mom's side, as well as some of my father. But growing up in that environment, there could be things that would cause you, if you paid attention to it and if you didn't have like a strong resolve where you would want to give up, you would feel stuck. The place that we began when we grew up in Johns, Alabama, I never would have imagined in my lifetime that I would have been able to go the places I went. But it's stories like these, like Michelle's, that she shares that reminds me that it's not about where you came from. Those things, it's important to remember that because those are the things that gave you your foundation and they help to keep you grounded where you realize what your purpose is, why you're doing the things that you're doing, who you're doing the things for that you're doing them for, and why it's important to this world. The thing I liked about her most is that she was so concerned about equality and justice for her entire community for this world. She and Barack, they are truly global citizens. And I really just, the more that I began to read, the more that I got in detail. I saw her dedication. I mean, she learned to read very early. You know, her mom taught her to read early, and so that caused her to really have a love for education. Because if you can read early, that means that you're, every time you pick up a book as a little child, rather than looking at the pictures, you're able to read the book. And so I'm sure she was going through the books. And then her Aunt Robbie, being her piano teacher, you know, I was sharing with them, one thing that stuck out with me from that part is that her Aunt Robbie, when she was teaching her, her piano had a missing, the C. She had the middle C, but the corner of that key was broken off. And so when they gave, her aunt would always give this fancy recital for all of the students. And when they went to the fancy recital and they had this baby grand piano, they no longer had that broken key where she would know that that's where middle C is. With, I don't know, for those that play piano, I took piano lessons for a little bit. Middle C is, it's like, yeah, that's crucial. And so she was sitting there and she was nervous, and her aunt came and she just very lightly touched middle C so she would know where to begin and how to share, you know, and enjoyed her recital. But I was just so encouraged by her whole family dynamic. How can you not be? It's mind blowing. They you know, came from
Yeah.
that to the president of the United States of America, First Lady Michelle Obama. I mean, just,
Yeah.
I mean, woman, just extraordinary. And just looking back over the history, I tell you, I have been moved. I continue to be moved as I'm reading and I'm moving forward. If you saw how many notes and things I went as I was going through, I gave them who some of the characters were so that they know who they were as they were reading along. I explained to them the major characters that were in the book. I explained to them their importance when I shared before, because in order for the whole book to tie together, they need to understand the role that these people play in the book. But this is a phenomenal book, not just for something to read. It's a phenomenal, for me, something to read that's inspiring, that's encouraging, that's inspirational, that's uplifting, that's life changing. You know, I'm sure you can tell by the music when we started. I have really just been just in awe of this. I really, really, I'm an avid reader. And so it was so good for me to pick up a book, to have the audio. I got the audio, and to listen along with my daughter. Thought I didn't have it, so she was like, "Mom, the book's on the way." I'm an avid reader because I was just inspired. I just have to tell you that she was so transparent. A lot of times when you read books that writers have written and it's supposed to be in the first person, they don't share quite as much as Michelle did. And this can cause any person, not just a young woman, even though we're empowering women, this can show you that it doesn't matter where you start from. That's the thing that stuck with me. This, that where you start from, because we have some women that we're partnering with, that we're mentoring, that may feel that it's hopeless where they are, but you can get to where you're trying to go. All you have to do is persevere, keep the
Yeah.
faith, work
Yes.
hard. Her main theme in this first chapter was you have to strive. In order to
Yeah.
thrive, you got to strive. And so I was
Yeah.
encouraged by that. What were your thoughts, Ify?
Yes. Something else that really inspired
Mm-hmm,
me from this chapter is
mm-hmm,
the fact that they were married. Terry, the that's the husband of the music teacher,
mm-hmm,
were married. He was married to her, but they
mm-hmm,
were two different people. You know,
mm-hmm,
they had experiences of racism, of like
mm-hmm,
rejection, of
mm-hmm,
depression. But
mm-hmm,
but how did they empower themselves through that experience? You could
mm-hmm,
see that Michelle said talked about Terry and said he hardly spoke. And he
Mm-hmm.
always looked a bit far away. He always looked a bit dejected and depressed.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had to ask and find out why he was always this way. And then
Mm-hmm.
they explained to him that he was turned down from, the school he applied for, that
Mm-hmm.
he was, because they felt that for colored people and things like that. The same thing also happened, which
Mm-hmm.
is why the music coach, you
Mm-hmm.
know, she also went through that experience. But how
Mm-hmm.
did she turn it around to bless people, to help people, to empower people, and also empower herself? She
Yes.
started coaching young people in the
Mm-hmm.
community,
Mm-hmm.
you know, which is something that I know was should be the first foundation, apart from Michelle's parents,
Mm-hmm.
first foundation for herself in achieving things, because she strove for excellence. She wanted to be excellent with her music coach. Now,
Mm-hmm.
if the music coach felt that, oh, I've been through racism, I wasn't accepted in the college, I wasn't allowed to stay in the female hostel because of my skin
Mm-hmm.
color, and then she came back home and she was just at home, just cooking and eating and saying, you know what, I'm upset, I'm depressed, I don't want to touch anyone. What
Mm-hmm.
perhaps that part could not have been in Michelle's story.
No, would have been in a
That
story.
music playing, she trying to be excellent in something, as what we might not really see as important as adults, but some trying to be excellent in music. I'm sure that must have built her foundation in
Mm-hmm.
being an excellent first lady, being excellent in school, being an excellent lawyer, and also for her husband Barack Obama to see that excellence in her and decide to
Mm-hmm.
get married to her. So
Mm-hmm.
we see two different characters. They are husband and wife. They are living under the same roof, but they went through similar experiences. But how they were able to turn that experience around to empower themselves and empower other people and bless people, help their community, was is just two different things. So those are from our first series from women empowerment. We've been talking about it. There are times women, we've been through different things, and
Mm-hmm.
then we might want to just be in a like eggshell, crawl under the cave and never come out. You don't want to share
Mm-hmm.
your story. This is what I've been through. When you are sharing your story, you'll be surprised with thousands of people. Even if it's just one more person, you are able to inspire and tell them that, you know what, I've been through this, but I was able to come out of it. And this is how, in my little way, I'm able to help other people in my community,
Mm-hmm.
teach little kids how to bake cake during summertime or during the holidays,
Mm-hmm.
teach kids how to do it yourself exercises, paint and things. I'm deciding to empower
Mm-hmm.
myself, even though I've been through this experience. So, but you could see the impression Michelle had about her husband. It was like she wished the man could open up and talk more, say things he has experienced, talk about like she said, how rich people behave in the cabins, something like that, but he was locked up. He was locked
Yeah.
up. So you can see that Michelle could not gain from him. So it's
Okay.
important
Yeah.
that as women and as people, really, we should try as much as possible to bless others with the talents, with the gifts that we've received. We've all
Mm-hmm.
received something. You've received an experience. Yes, it
Mm-hmm.
might not be the best experience. It might be a wonderful experience. Even if it's the most wonderful, beautiful experience, when you share it with other people, instead of locking it in, you're
Mm-hmm.
going to help someone else. You're going to inspire other people to aspire for greatness. So that's something I also learned from the two characters she mentioned in the book, chapter
Yes.
1. Yeah.
I went and I looked at, Robbie and Terry. One of the things she thought
Yeah.
at first, she thought that he was just very grumpy because he did
Yeah.
not have a lot to say. But Michelle's great uncle Terry, he lived downstairs from her. But like Robbie, Terry's life had been deeply affected by limited opportunities, as you stated. He was once a Pullman porter, which is an overnight passenger a rail line where they would help kind of to serve and make sure all of the people that were on on the train, that they were served and those things. So he became very subservient because that was a big part of his life, and what he did in his life. And so that deeply, affected him. And the thing that I like, that once she understood his story, then she could appreciate him. And then Robbie, during her time, she once sued Northwestern University for discrimination. When she
Yeah.
tried to take a music workshop that you were talking about from them, and she was denied a room in the women's dorm. During our time, we can't even imagine that those kind of things would happen to us, or that we wouldn't be able to stay in some place. Now, we still, I don't know about you, but I still experience some things. It just depends on where you are. And it's mind blowing. You're going, what in the world? So it's not based on my qualifications. It's not based on any of that. You just seem to have an issue with me for no reason. And when you experience that, that's just like a very hurting kind
Yeah.
of thing. Growing up in the South, I can tell you there were countless times that in Alabama that I encountered, those moments. And my parents, I can remember being a little child, because Michelle isn't too much older than me, and I grew up in Alabama. That I remember those times. I remember experiencing those things. I remember my parents experiences those things. And so the thing that I love about it is that my parents, even my parents, in relation to this, they still told me that there's more. You can do more. Don't look at just this place and limit it to what's possible for you. And they excelled in education. I love, that's one of the things that I shared was a key point for me, that I love the fact that education was key, because that is your way. You can excel with education. Yes, you can.
Yeah.
It's a lot of things that people can say or try to take away from you, but they can't take away from your education. They can't take away from your experiences. Hey, you may not be the top scholar, but you may be the best. That young lady we had on that did that beauty thing, but you're the best at that. That's what you excel at in the area of art, in the area of creativity and other things. I'm an
Yeah.
artist myself, that I sing. I'm a gospel recording artist as well. And so I understand the plight of the creative. A lot of times it's not revered the same as it is in the area of education, but it takes experience and it takes training to be able to do those things. You can testify to that, because you are creative yourself and you work in so many arenas of different areas of that creative. After reading this chapter here, what kind of things began to go through your mind as you, because I know it caused you to think about your own experiences?
Yeah, yeah. Personally, like from what saying that Michelle saying that her mother helped her to really love to read. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just saying, like, because of what I do as an actress, as a content creator, especially as a content creator, I have to do a lot of research. I have to do a lot of reading, and I see that already has impacted on my son. My son, he's just two years and 2 months, but he already
Mm-hmm.
likes reading, holding books, wanting to read. Every day he's building his vocabulary. So as women, really, what we do has a direct impact on our children and people around us, really. Even if you're one watching, but you don't have children yet, you are yet to start your family, what you do is directly impacting the lives of young ones around you, whether they are 5 years younger than you are, whether they are 10 years younger than you are, or whether they're just a year younger than you are. What you do at times directly impacts them. It could
Mm-hmm.
inspire them, or it could make them feel that there is a barrier and I can't go over it. But when you are consistently saying that no matter what the barriers are, I can go over it, or you can also go over it, you can leap over that wall. It would have a great impact on our environment too. That's something, yeah, as you just reminded me of that point she made in the book, saying
Yeah.
that her mother really helped her to enjoy reading. and
Right.
writer. And perhaps that's also one of the reasons why she was able to come out and publish this very lovely book, from having the foundation of a wonderful mother who loved to read. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, for me, that's one of the things I found. My mother, well, and I don't know if it's something to do with their time. My mother was a stickler. She later became a teacher and a principal. But my mother, the late lady Betty Rosette Moore Merriweather, my mother, God rest her soul, my mom did not play with us when it came down to reading. We had reading sessions where we, every Saturday morning, she would have my brother, my two brothers and my sister and I, we would sit at the table and we would read the book. She didn't play about this. She said, reading is essential. In order for you to get to where you're trying to go, in order for you to be able to excel at anything, you have to be able to read. And I can remember being 4 and 5 saying, oh my goodness. And it's like we read the same book, See Sally Run, you know. And my brother Tim, and hopefully he won't get upset with me, he would just be sitting there like not wanting to read. And so it was a fun time for us as children because we look at each other and laugh. But now as we are adults, it's amazing. All of us love reading. You know, with me, I have my doctorate degree. My brother John, my older brother, who was very quiet. We never knew if he was getting it or not getting it. He just didn't have a lot to say. He's a PhD candidate right now. My brother Tim, he's in a graduate program right now. My sister Dee, she's a teacher there in Alabama. When we were growing up, we didn't see those things. Do you understand? We were just like, oh my gosh, this is something mom is making us do when we got up in the morning time on Saturdays. But it's amazing how parents can see what you can become with hard work. I never would have imagined, and I've said this several
Yeah.
times,
Yeah.
when we
Yeah.
started out,
Wow.
Ify,
Wow.
I
Yeah.
grew up in a place where we didn't even wear
Mm-hmm.
shoes every day before my dad started pastoring at the good church. And my grandma made our soap, and uh, I've been all over the world. I'm on book 36, writing book 36 and, television stuff. And it's nothing about bragging. I'm not trying to brag. I'm just saying, if you work hard, and you do the work, and you can attest to this, if you do the work, you work hard, you stay the course, understand, you strive, you don't give up. Even when people are telling you no, you find a way to work to get that yes, to get to where you're trying to go. Then you can look back and reach back like you're doing, like I'm doing, to bring others along with you to say, hey, you can be successful. Hey, you can make this happen. Let me show you as a mentor for you how you can get there. Here's my story. I did it. You could do it. And that's kind of like what Michelle is doing. I think here she's saying, hey, don't get caught up that it may be the roughest side of town. Don't get caught up if that opportunity isn't right there. You can make that opportunity for yourself. Stay the course, persevere, and make it. I've just been I don't know. I think I was just really overwhelmed by the book,
Mm-hmm.
especially with them coming from Alabama. I had a lot to relate to
Yeah.
growing up in Alabama, knowing how things were, witnessing it firsthand. Are there any closing comments? Well, at this time, I'm going to go back over here to the studio. As you know, Ify is joining us from Nigeria. And so a lot of times, sometimes we'll lose that link. And I appreciate her patience. I appreciate your patience as we continue to do the things that we are doing. It's
Yeah.
amazing. I want you to share with at least 10 women, if not 20 women, this book that we are reading. If you want to think of something that you can give for a gift, give this book for a gift. It's an amazing book to give for
Yeah.
any woman, for anybody really that's concerned about excelling and being a good global citizen. This is a great book for you to read. Becoming. I even love that. It's not saying that I showed up like this. I became this. I evolved into this. And so you can tell the creative part of me is just like, oh my goodness, just flutter and all. And as an actress, you can understand because when you get a part, you have to become that role that you're playing in. You have to learn how to embody that persona in order for it to be where it's
Yeah.
successful. When you do, I have that part correct?
Mhm. Yes, yes, yes. Very, very correct. And that's something I like to, for the people, for the young people I mentor here, I try to tell them a lot about becoming, because becoming is a process. It's not an
Mm-hmm.
overnight. If you try to do things overnight,
Mm-hmm.
if anyone who is trying to look for overnight success, most of the
Mm-hmm.
time it leads to depression, it leads to suicide,
Yeah.
because then they have not grown to
Mm-hmm.
the extent of handling it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so that's the reason why when things go a bit wrong, they don't know what to do. They get confused, they don't know who to talk to, and then at times they go to the wrong people, and then they get into addictions, and then it just ruins everything. So I try
Yeah.
as much as possible to let young people know, especially if you're coming to the entertainment industry, become, enjoy the process of becoming the superstar, the celebrity you keep seeing in
Mm-hmm.
your dreams, you keep having your vision in. Enjoy the process of becoming. Build good relationships on your way there. Don't
Mm-hmm.
tear down relationships. Build on it, because you certainly need these people at one point or the other in your process of becoming. So it's important to be good, to have a good character, develop a good attitude, enjoy your education, enjoy it. Is education is also part of becoming. Reading is also part of becoming, because for different people in different parts of the world, you might not have the opportunity to travel to South Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are reading this book, it's more like you have already been there. You can
Mm-hmm.
actually discuss, have sustain a useful discussion with someone who has lived or who is living in
Mm-hmm.
Chicago because of the book. So reading opens up your mind. It helps you to live different lives. If you are reading about history, you are able to, and this is something that really helped me in the starting of my career, especially when I wanted to do, when I was in college and I had to do a bit of events and things like that on the side.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at times in trying to get business and things like that, you need to talk intelligently. You need to
Mm-hmm.
be able to hold a useful conversation that is not only about modeling, it's not
Mm-hmm.
only about the latest TV series. You need to be able to hold intelligent conversations about the economy and things like that. Now, how did I do it? It's because I was reading. So there's a
Mm-hmm.
discipline of reading when we are on the process, the journey to becoming. And that is something as women we should hold on to. And that's the purpose of this book club, to help us to build this great discipline of reading. Because as our kids see us reading, as our cousins, our younger ones see us reading, they are also going to be inspired to read, and they will gain a lot from it. Yeah.
Yes, I agree with you. I have just been inspired by reading this book. I'm looking forward next month to us moving to chapter 2. Along with, we will begin again with our women empowerment. And I think we're at session 6. I think we're at session 6. I hope I have that correctly. And so you'll see the information
Yeah.
coming out about that. But we don't want you just to be selfish and keep it here with you. We want you to share it, people, with others. Tell them to get this book. We don't want to just become, because we're becoming as we're reading this book and we're inspired. We want you to inspire others to become, to get to that point of where we're going, sharing and reading this with you. Listen, it takes all of us working together to get things done in this world. No one person is that catalyst by themselves. It takes all of us working together to get that done. And so I've been so encouraged and so inspired by the fact that you're in Nigeria, I'm here in America, and we are still able, we connect, we do things that we need to do to encourage and empower. For all of those that have sent the emails in reference to the makeup thing, I'm telling you, we're going to have the young lady on again. It's some people, listen, it's a lot of people that are that 30 and up crowd that we're not quite sure how to put it all on correctly. And so we want to make sure this last time we weren't able to accommodate because of the time in the schedule. But I want to make sure that we make that happen next month if we can, or the month after. Just let me know, because that's in Ify's camp. If you can make that happen and let us know the dates that we were given. It's not that the young lady wasn't willing to come back on. She was. We just weren't available to schedule to meet where we could do that. So we want to make that happen. It's coming. Our Purpose Women, our empowerment group, you guys want to look good, and we want you to look good. And the young lady's going to tell us how to do it. Ify, are there any closing comments from you before we close out? Mm-hmm. Yes.
I would want to say cheers and congratulations to all the
Mm-hmm.
members of our Purpose Women group. You have been amazing, and please try and invite your friends to also join the
Mm-hmm.
group. We are learning so much already, and we are already becoming the people
Mm-hmm.
and the persons we want to become to impact our society, impact our world, and making a difference. Yeah, so thank you, Dr. T. It's great to be here again and reviewing this book. Thank you for choosing this book, because I know I've learned a couple of things from them.
Yes, and what we're going to do, I want you to know, in a couple of hours, you'll be able to go out to Roku, and you'll be able to see both sessions. We'll put them both up so you can see both sessions. If you have Roku, if you have Apple TV, Fire TV, Across TV, all you need to do is add LV Network as a channel. LV, that's the letter LV, and Network as a channel. And you'll be able to view this session today on our global empowerment, our women's global empowerment channel. I'm so excited about that, because empowering women around the world is so important, and I want us to support that. And then, if you couldn't see it here on Facebook and you want to share it with your friends, we put a link in the thing for those that are here on Facebook and Instagram. I put the link as well, and those that follow me on Twitter or whatever, I put it there too. You can share that link for YouTube, and the YouTube is Meriwether Global LV Network. It's Meriwether Global LV Network, and I didn't want to do so many. For those that partner with us, they know that I'm a pastor as well as doing all the other things that I do, and so I just wanted, we made one big network on YouTube rather than 5 or 6. So you can see out there at YouTube. You can share it that way. We're just encouraged. And I thank you, Ify, for us being on this journey together. I think from years from now, when we, as we're becoming and we become what it is, we'll look back in 20, 30 years from now, and we'll remember these times, and we'll celebrate them as we're able to celebrate the young woman that came behind us, that saw these things as encouraging, and she moved
Yeah.
along in life just from being nurtured and mentored to get to where they were trying to go. Well, if there's nothing else,
Yeah.
we are going to close out for today. Once again, help me celebrate Ify Ubama Do. She is a world actress. She is a philanthropist. She's a model. Oh my goodness, she's a content creator. She is a mother. She is a wife. She's somebody's daughter. What a wonderful, wonderful testament to her as she comes on from Nigeria to share with us in the women empowerment things that we are doing. We're talking about movie star here, people. Hello, people. Y'all better come on in here. We're doing some great things here. God is really opening up some great doors where we can really help to move things forward. And I'm appreciative of that. I'm one of those people that when a door opens an opportunity, I'm thankful for that. So I thank you, Ify, for sharing your gifts and your talents with us. And so until next time, you be sure to look for things that are coming up in reference to chapter 2, as well as how you can connect with the Women's Empowerment Group to help women around the world. Bye bye.
Yeah. Yeah. Bye. Bye.